Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Tyrion Cuthbert, Attorney of the Arcane. When we last left off, we had found a trace of necromancy on Valentina here. And now we're going to have a little argument with her. This is Blind, I'm Wisemimir. Let's get the show on the road. A little bit out of order. It's fine. What is she hiding? Starting argument. Miss Ianus. Yeah, that's probably... it's probably Ianus. Wait. Yeah. It's almost certainly the two-faced god. Yeah. Spotted it. Miss Ianus. From the very beginning, I've felt like you've been hiding something from us. There's something you're not telling us about. Well, what? Well, what are you talking about? My conscience is clear. I've told you and the knights everything I know. I've got nothing to hide. I need to stay calm. If you've got nothing to hide... yeah, your conscience clearly isn't clear. It contradicts the emotion. Miss Ianus, it's clear to anyone how nervous you are. I can practically see the fear you're emanating right now. Just tell us the truth. It'll be a lot easier for both of us. Let's say I were hiding something. Which I'm not, by the way. Yep. Yeah, sure, you're real innocent right now. Italics. God damn. Okay. Why should I tell you anything? I don't have to tell you anything. I know my rights. Appeal... rationalize. Threaten. Let me check the psych profile. Valentina is more concerned with protecting herself than doing the right thing. She will continue to hide her secrets unless she thinks that doing so is dangerous for her. She sees Wallace as a villainous necromancer and will not feel pity for him. You have nothing to lose by telling us what happened. I know that you're not the murderer. I'll make sure you're protected. My client is innocent. By withholding your testimony, you're condemning him to a wrongful conviction. That's not gonna work with what we know about her. This might work. You've already given your statement to the Inquisition. If the truth comes out, what do you think they'll do when they realize you lied to them? Who are you protecting, Miss Ianus? You talk a big game, but I bet you can't prove anything, can you? You think I'm lying to protect someone. I don't know anyone who can use magic. I don't even know any mages. And I definitely didn't see anyone use magic on the body. Present. You do clearly know a mage. You can't hide the truth from us, Miss Ianus. Well, what? You said that you've never seen a necromancy spell before. If that were true, then why is there a trace of necromancy on you? Wait, what? There's a trace of necromancy on me? Argument 1. What? Did she not know about the spell that was cast on her? No, that doesn't make any sense. If she didn't know about the trace, she wouldn't have avoided Celeste back then. There must be an explanation for this. You have successfully argued against Valentina Ianus. I keep going back and forth between pronunciation. I've got to pick one and stick with it. Valentina Ianus. Ianus. Right. Sticking with this one. This is crazy. Why is there a trace of magic on me? Am I going to die? Am I going to become a zombie? That's strange. Is she really unaware that a spell was cast on her? Or is she playing dumb? Why doesn't Valentina know that the spell was necromancy? She knows that someone used magic on her, but doesn't know that the spell was necromancy. The spell cast on Valentina healed her. Presumably. Calm down, Miss Ianus. Not all necromancy spells relate to the undead. Healing spells are also from the school of necromancy. Healing spells? Oh, it was found from that time she healed that cut. That implies she knows a mage who studies healing magic. Could that person be a student here? I mean, that person could also be her sister. So, sorry, I just remembered that there's something else I have to do. I'll be right back. Hey, come back here. Ugh, he ran away again. I can catch her. There's no way she can outrun me. She did before. No, the Inquisition is still stationed around the surrounding areas. They'd probably intervene if we started harassing one of the witnesses. That's true. But we weren't able to learn anything. Or, yeah, that is what she said. Actually, I did learn one thing. She has a friend who cast a healing spell on her. Really, how did you figure that out? Good deductive reasoning, and the Eye of Horus. Wow. Wait, well, healing magic is also a form of necromancy, right? I guess that explains the trace on her. It's a good thing we know Wallace. Otherwise, we might have also thought that a necromancer was trying to kill her. Wait a minute. That's it. What? Did you figure something out? This whole time, we've been wondering why there's a trace of necromancy on the body. It isn't because someone attacked Bellwether with a necromancy spell. It's because someone used necromancy in an attempt to heal her. Oh, I see. It doesn't matter what type of necromancy spell someone uses. The spells from the same school of magic will leave the same trace. It's not just that. The body clearly has blood on it. What would happen if someone used a healing spell on a wounded body? It would close all of that body's wounds. In other words, it would remove any cuts or bruises. Well, interrogating Valentina may have been a dead end, but it still gave us just what we needed to win this case. I'm not so sure that was a dead end. What do you mean? It's not that suspicious that she asked someone to heal her if she injured herself. But if it's only that, why would she go to so much trouble to hide it? It's too coincidental. The wounds on the body were healed by an unknown person. And the person who found the body is hiding the identity of a killer. They have to be the same person. I guess that makes sense. So what do we do now? Valentina is definitely onto us. I doubt we'll get a third chance to speak to her. Hopefully what we have now is enough to acquit Wallace. You've done everything you can. Use what you learned to poke holes in the prosecution's case. We're going to trial. And if that doesn't work, you can drag Valentina onto the witness stand and pull the truth out of her. I have a feeling that's what we're going to have to do. You just hope that what she's hiding is enough to acquit Wallace. It probably won't be. Case 2 is always longer, in my experience. But then I'm familiar with Ace Attorney. I demand to know why you're still holding on to my rapier. It's a precious family heirloom and I want it back. It's evidence in the current case. Evidence? The professor was filled with necromancy. Was she, though? Why are you asking me? You're the one investigating this. I suppose it doesn't matter. Just know that I will bring her murderer to justice, no matter who it may be. That was suspicious. Wonder who that noble was. Alright, it's time for trial. Just take deep breaths and relax. Hi, Tyrion. Ah, Celeste. Don't sneak up on me like that. Why are you so nervous? It's not as if this is your first time defending someone. No, it's my second. I can't help it. There's something about this building that just fills me with anxiety. Ugh. It's too bad Ruby couldn't make it. I'd say that you should calm down for Wallace's sake, but there are so many people here. And they're all staring at me. Their eyes are prying into me like a pack of flesh-eating maggots. And this is why people think you're a dangerous necromancer. You went straight for that metaphor. Or simile, sorry. Like means simile. Gross. Don't worry, Wallace. Our investigations revealed a lot of weaknesses in the prosecution's case. We have a strong case for your acquittal. Okay. See? You can be confident when you want to be. It's strange. Something is calming about Wallace's anxiety. It's like he just absorbs the tension out of you and into himself. That's real weird. Empathic magic, maybe? Is that a thing? Court is now in session for the trial of Wallace Nightgrave. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is also ready. Very well, let's begin the proceedings. Prosecutor Steelwind, could you please list the charges? The defendant is a student at the Wyvern God Imperial Academy. Mr. Nightgrave is charged with first-degree murder, negligent misuse of the arcane arts, and illegal practice of advanced necromancy. No, necromancy? Do you mean to tell me that the defendant is a necromancer? I can't believe it. A necromancer in this day and age. How could the kingdom let this happen? Your Honor, I would like to remind the court that they should review my client objectively. No, view my client objectively. Funny tripping over my sentences. Of course. But one can easily see it from the list of charges. Necromancy plays a large role in the charges. Indeed, the crime occurred within the academy this morning. The victim is Catherine Bellwether, a professor at the school. However, there were no witnesses, no traces of necromancy were detected on the body. Furthermore, the autopsy report shows that the body has no physical wounds. I see. Necromancy is the only type of magic that can harm an individual without physically wounding them. Additionally, the alchemist's report shows no signs of poison or disease. Therefore, one can only conclude that a necromancer had committed the crime. As many of you know, necromancy is held under high scrutiny by the Crown. Aside from the defendant, no other students were permitted to learn advanced necromancy magic. As such, the defendant was the only mage in that building capable of committing the murder. I see. That is certainly, almost said clearly, compelling evidence. To properly present our case, the prosecution would like to call Commander Orem White to the stand. Commander White, please testify to the court about the Inquisition's findings. Yeah. I love him all. I love his appearance in the first case. I love him even more in this one. He is this game's gumshoe, and I'm here for it. It started when the City Watch got a call from the Imperial Academy. Someone was attacked, and the whole building was put on lockdown. We set up a perimeter around the area, and waited for the lockdown system to deactivate. When we finally got into the building, the prosecutor personally inspected the body and detected traces of necromancy on it. There were no cuts or bruises on the body either. The body was entirely clean. With those two pieces of evidence, we concluded that It could only be the Necromancer kid that did it. The Inquisition's testimony is just as you expected, and you've already found and identified the holes in Steelwind's case. All you have to do is find that hole in the commander's testimony. It's the body was clean thing. Like, I spotted it. Yeah. The entire body was clean, and that's bull. And there was a bloodstain.
Objection!
Commander White, it appears you've neglected to mention one key detail of the crime scene. Yeah, what's that? During your testimony, you said the entire body was clean. I will admit there weren't any wounds on the body. However, the body was certainly not clean. At the scene of the crime, there was a large pool of blood located where the body was. This blood came from the victim's body, and it was definitely not clean like the commander testified. I'm sorry, Mr. Cuthbert, but I failed to see the significance of this. I'd like to remind the court of the prosecution's case against my client. They are accusing him of murdering the victim using necrotic blight, a spell which would not have physically wounded the victim. So why was there any blood at all? Let's not get ahead of ourselves. The fact still stands. There were no wounds on the body, nor were there any reports of poison or disease on the autopsy. There are certainly, whoops. Swapped one word for another. There are clearly magical elements in this case. Catherine Bellwether was bleeding profusely at some point. How else would there be a blood stain on the body? Do you have an explanation for this, Miss Steelwind? No, I'll admit the prosecution doesn't have an explanation for that. And while I do find the circumstances questionable, all other evidence points to the defendant. Which spell would you leave a trace of necromancy? If the victim wasn't killed with necromancy, why was there a trace of it on the body? I'm glad you asked. I'd like to present a spell that could have left a trace of necromancy on the body. Spells, mend wounds. Mend wounds? Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that a healing spell? That's correct, Your Honor. Spells from the School of Necromancy can control the forces of life and death. Mend Wounds is, in fact, a necromancy spell. Really now, I wasn't aware of this. Now, I'd like the court to consider the following. What would happen if Bellwether was wounded and someone attempted to heal her magic? Using Mend Wounds, sorry. All of her wounds would disappear from her body. I see.
Objection!
Do you honestly think I'm that incompetent, Mr. Cuthbert? Frankly, I'm a little insulted. What? The Inquisition is well aware of what happens when a mage attempts to save a victim using Mend Wounds. The healers that arrived at the scene already confirmed that the victim was long dead. None of them attempted to heal her. Well, what if someone tried to heal her and didn't report it? Please, none of the healers would have anything to gain by doing so. In fact, as a necromancer, the defendant could have easily carried out the described scenario. He could have cast mend wounds on the victim after murdering her to confound the investigation. And honestly, I think someone did, but I don't think it's the defendant. But if you could just find out who healed the body, the case is yours. And whoever this healer is, Valentina definitely knows her. Your Honor, I will admit that I don't have any evidence to support my theory. However, I do believe that we can bring it to light. There may have been two people that witnessed someone cast magic on the body. Valentina and Valerie Ianus, the sisters who discovered the body. Ianus. And there we go. Making sure I'm still using that same pronunciation. This is nonsense. We've already questioned those two witnesses extensively. If they had witnessed something like that, it would have come up in their testimony. If that's true, then you have nothing to lose by hearing their testimonies. Very well, if you're so confident, let's hear the witness's testimony. It seems the prosecution has no objections. However, if this line of questioning leads nowhere, I will see no reason to further prolong this trial. Do you understand, Mr. Cuthbert? Of course, Your Honor. Oh crap, it's that guy from before. Is he the necromancer's lawyer? She just got on the stand and she's already stressed out. This could work in your favor. Witness, please state your name and occupation for the court. My name? Witness, there's no need to be so nervous. We merely want to hear what you saw on the day of the murder. Right, it's just that guy over there, You mean Mr. Cuthbert? Did this man harass you, witness? Well, wait a minute. Yeah. He, super harassed me. How shameful. I would expect a member of our justice system to behave more professionally. Oh, shut up. Anyways, please state your name and occupation for the court, Miss Ianus. Just calm down, he can't prove anything. My name is Valentina Ianus. I am a member of the kitchen staff at the Wyvern Guard Imperial Academy. As I recall, you were one of the witnesses who discovered the body. Apparently, the defense finds your involvement suspect. Ooh, she's worried. Rest assured, Miss Ianus. In this courtroom, you will be protected from Mr. Cuthbert's harassment. Ugh. I have a feeling I won't be able to press much on her testimony. Now, please testify to the court on what happened that day. Yeah. Witness testimony. I was walking with my sister in the West Wing when we noticed something in a nearby classroom. We looked over to see what it was, and that's when we saw Miss Bellwether bleeding on the ground And with that, next time on Let's Play Tyrion Cuthbert, Attorney of the Arcane Blind, we're going to continue this trial and figure out what lies within Valentina Ianus's testimony. Whoops. Well, I'll read that text next time. If you enjoyed my video, leave a like, a comment, and or a subscribe. It helps.